Great. Hi, everybody. This is a part of my YouTube channel where I'm really excited because I get to have conversations with really cool people. You usually get me doing a 5-minute frequency tune up on a Friday. You get me doing lives where I may bring in some healing and talk to the guides. But today, I'm actually going to be talking to a really lovely lady that I met on a transformative weekend, a healing retreat. Now, normally you'll find me and I'll be helping you to heal. But this time I decided that I would put myself in the hands of some amazing people and just really relax into it, because you know how it is when you are holding space for people all of the time as a light, as a healer, as a channel, then you also need to look after yourself and receive it from other people. So thank you for joining me. If you are here live, make sure you say hello. And if you're listening to the replay, let me know that you're on the replay, because you never know, you might just be receiving some freebie on this journey. Anyway, lots of love, everybody. Let's interview the lovely Lisa. So Lisa Tighe is one of the lovely ladies excuse me, that I met on the retreat, and she is one of the hostesses. So I'm excited to have her here. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for being
Hi,
here.
thanks for having me today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We're both in the UK, and it's actually quite cold at the moment in the UK, which is a kind of usual thing that we get, and especially where you are, Lisa, right? Whereabouts are
Mm.
you in the UK?
I'm in the Midlands now, so
Yeah,
we get weather from all angles, being right in the middle, and
yeah.
it's freezing.
I know, I know. And it's one of those things, isn't it? When you get in your car in the morning, you're like, what is that? Minus, you know?
Yeah.
And the guys in America, like they just don't really know what that feels like. They're like, what is that? Feeling that cold. But anyway, yeah, I was really blessed to go on this amazing retreat, and I have spoken about this on my YouTube and with my soul family, my membership and my community. And I said to them that from the moment that I stepped out of the airport in Malaga, which is Spain, I felt like there was a holding space for us all. When you greeted us, you came, and lovely Kellie came as well. And Kellie, we may see her today. She may pop on and join us on this call. But if not, we're really including her with this conversation as well. And both of you were just so welcoming. We'd actually met you online just previously, which I thought was a really good touch, because we actually got to meet you and experience, your energy before we actually ventured on the plane and came across, to Spain. So that was really lovely. And then we were, shimmied to this beautiful place, which was a beautiful villa, incredible villa in the kind of the middle of nowhere, really. It was like up on a mountain, wasn't it? And it's in,
But it was actually near the golf resort, so that
yeah,
we weren't
Mijas
that
Spain.
far away from civilization. But
Yeah,
it felt really
you didn't
um,
feel like you were in
no,
civilization.
no,
And I
no.
think that was a good choice of where you where you happen to hold this retreat. So we landed there, and we were welcomed, and we were shown our rooms, and we looked at the space, and the space was, it's an artist that owns it, isn't it? So, I have put some pictures up on my social media, but it just felt like every single room had its own energy of art, and I think that made it really, really special. And it was very quirky as well. So
Was
it was, not your normal kind of villa that you would
no.
stay at in Spain. And then we were, from the moment we were there, it was kind of this journey of healing, even though we might not have been doing healing at that moment, being around these beautiful souls that were all there for the same reason, but all came from very different lives and lifestyles. And it was just one of those experiences where we immersed ourselves. And I will say that, and we'll talk about the details of it in a minute, but I will say that it takes a lot for me. I've been on this journey for like nearly 30 years, and it takes a lot for me to just kind of like surrender to something like that, okay, because it's normally me holding space. And I actually said to you, didn't I, Lisa? I said, um, if I cry, then that's a really good thing for me because I
Yeah.
very rarely cry. And literally on the first day when we started, so the next morning, we started with sunrise, like yoga, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah,
Another
yeah.
lovely Lisa. And then what did we do? We went into doing beautiful, was it EFT at that moment? Did we
We did
start with
some
that?
tapping. Yeah, we started off with just looking at kind of your, like, where do you, what do you want? What do you truly want?
Yeah,
Your whys, your why nots,
that's right.
um,
Yeah,
and kind of just making that, like, getting that out there. What is it that you really,
yeah.
what are you on the retreat for? What do you want to get out of it? But
That
also
was
your
brilliant.
whole, yeah, your whole
Mm.
life, not just while you're there
Yeah,
for the weekend, but what is it that you think would truly
yeah,
bring you some happiness? And why
yeah.
hasn't that happened already? Um,
And mine was about relationships because everything else in my life was really great.
yeah,
I love my mission, kids are great, where I live is great, abundance is great. But it was that piece, wasn't it? Really about for me, about sharing my life with a divine partner. And I'm really authentic on my YouTube channel. So I speak about anything because I think it's really important to be authentic about your life and not just be, a carbon cut out of what people think you should be. I'm very authentic. And that leads me to talk about you, Lisa. Like, you're an incredible practitioner in the sense that you hold space, but you're also very experienced, but your life has led you to this place, hasn't
yeah,
it?
absolutely.
So just kind of give us a little snapshot of kind of who you are as this beautiful soul coming in and helping people. Why would people be drawn, as I was, to come on this retreat?
Well, I think because one of the things that I feel that people were drawn and are drawn
Mm,
is because it isn't just having some yoga and going to lie on the beach, and maybe having a glass of wine and having a walk. It isn't that. And personally, you could do that yourself. You could,
yeah,
choose to have an afternoon off if you could. And,
yeah,
it's for me, sort of delivering the retreat, and the purpose behind it was all about the transformation plus the relaxation. So it wasn't
yeah,
just, let's just take some time out and do a bit of journaling and have a walk. It was about kind of really visiting some thoughts, some emotions, some ideas
yeah,
about your life that maybe you haven't thought about for a really, really
yeah.
long time.
And you made me cry on the first day.
Yeah, you did cry. I
Yeah,
think your
I
words
did.
at first were, "Good luck with making me cry," and it was
Yeah,
really quite. It,
yeah,
it was it was beautiful to see it, to be honest,
yeah.
because it was just so. It just
A
came.
softening, a
It was
softening.
gorgeous. It was
Yeah.
lovely, and you weren't
Mm.
afraid of it. You were quite like, oh, you
No,
weren't like, oh my God, here comes the tears. It was just
no.
like, oh, and it was lovely to
Yeah,
watch and be a part of that.
yeah.
So that's kind of where the idea sort of is, where we what we wanted to deliver
Well, your
was.
intention was for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
to bring people with maybe things that are missing, or they don't know are missing, but they're not quite
Mm.
satisfied, or there's something they want to bring in but they're not even quite sure what it is, and just
Yeah,
to revisit these emotions, these events, this their whole life, and look at what it could be.
yeah. And I think, we speak about EFT because
Yeah,
it's called emotional freedom technique.
yeah,
And so if people don't know, then, just explain a little tiny bit about it and how you got to actually do that, why you chose to do that. Because you know that I trained in it and I used
yeah,
to teach people it in
yeah, yeah,
my way of doing things.
yeah.
So I understood it, but not everyone does understand EFT.
No. So emotional freedom technique, it's tapping, literally tapping on acupuncture
Mm,
points that are linked to
mm,
meridian points, which is where energy is stored.
mm,
So when you have a negative experience, thought, feeling, big or small, you literally hold on to that negative energy somewhere in the
mm.
body.
Yeah.
And what the tapping, the EFT does, it allows that energy to move around and out of the body. So basically, trauma, big traumas, small traumas, we like that. We hold on to it. We're like, oh my God, which is why when you think about a negative experience, you feel it somewhere, you know, oh, that accident, I feel it in my stomach. Oh, that terrible relationship, I feel it in my heart. You're holding on to it. So the tapping is a way to release that energy so we can feel different. And it's all about the way I sort of bring it about is, you know, and how it is meant to be is acknowledging how you feel, not
Yeah.
pushing it away. You
Yeah.
know, you feel awful, you've had a terrible thing happen, or you just feel dreadful about something, and the first thing you want to do is not feel like that. So we're
Mm.
like, no, I don't want to feel it, but we're storing it, we're holding on to it. So that this technique is phenomenal at allowing yourself to acknowledge why and what you feel,
Yeah.
and to unravel really safely, really carefully, little knots of emotion to
Yeah.
allow you to feel different.
And
And
I think that's definitely like the domino effect that happens as well,
yeah,
isn't it? So, you know, if you're listening to this and you think, and you think, well, if I was to tap into, excuse the pun, if I was to tap into like a serious trauma, maybe it's, you know, sexual abuse, maybe it's, you know, abandonment trauma, whatever it is. Am I going to be, you know, is it going to be like a whole tsunami? Well, no, because it's so gentle, isn't it? But it's
very
also like a
gentle.
domino effect in your life. So by healing that particular aspect that you're talking about, whatever it might be, actually that opens up other things in your life, doesn't it? You know, and it changes other things that you weren't even expecting
No,
to change.
all the links that are attached to that, they
Yeah,
start to feel, you can start to feel the pull to actually allow yourself to unravel
yeah,
that bit, or maybe
yeah,
leave it until you
yeah.
unravel something else so it feels okay. And that's the
Yeah.
beauty of it. You don't have to go straight in and do
No.
techniques and you know, change your life. It's just very gentle. It
Yeah.
really is. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you, you know, on a personal level, how did you get into it?
So it started off for me. I did NLP training, so
Hmm.
neuro linguistic programming. I did
Hmm.
that years ago through a job that I was in at the time to work with students. And while I was having this training, it was all brand new to me. I'd never looked into anything like that before.
Mm.
And I was having this training, and basically, the trainer was getting me to do a lot of the techniques because I've got big eyes, I'm very animated, and it was really easy for other participants to see what was happening. And he was asking me lots of questions around my life and my behaviors. And it's going to sound ridiculous, but one of the questions was something that he was asking me, and I just said, with my eyes closed in an NLP technique, and I just said, because I don't like myself. And
Yeah.
it was, that might sound like nothing to some people because there's a lot of people that don't like themselves,
Yeah.
but it was a massive revelation. And I
Mm.
was like, oh my God, my whole life I've spent doing this, doing that, behaving like that because I
Yeah.
don't like myself. And you know, no shit, Sherlock. It was a revelation, but it
It's
was
like an
quite
umbrella
obvious. It
to
was, yeah,
your life, right? Like it kind
yeah,
of held that space for the whole of
yeah,
your life. Like I don't like myself. So
yeah. Oh, I'll
yeah.
do this and I'll do that.
Yeah.
But it was a massive revelation for me.
Mm.
That started it all off. I trained further, I became a master prac. But there was still some stuff that kept
Mm.
reoccurring. And
Mm.
NLP, if you know, is quite masculine. It's quite technique involved and do this
Mm.
and do that and think like that. And I'm really emotional. You know, you saw me
Yeah.
cry a lot on the retreat and I was
Yes.
hosting it, Susan. God, I'm always crying, I know.
It's kind of nice though, because what I will say about Lisa is she wasn't necessarily crying when she was doing the work with us. She was
No.
just like, it was like things would, and that shows an authenticity to me. As I'm talking to you guys now, like this is authentic. This is not, you know, we've not scripted this in any way. It is who we are. And I think that is a really beautiful part of you, that you have that softness and that you can hold that space for people, but you're real,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I've not got everything going on for me. You know, it's part of my journey hosting this for you
Listen,
guys.
no one's sorted, and
No.
I think, you know, that's why it's really important. That's why I really felt drawn to kind of
Yeah.
talk to you on my channel, because actually I think the old paradigm of people thinking that they need to see someone to fix them
Oh,
is
yeah.
leaving. And I think this is where we go, you know, into the new earth and the old earth. But
Mm.
basically, We're realizing now, or many people are waking up to realize that actually the healing comes from within, but that we need a practitioner, we need a facilitator, we need support to access that part of ourselves. And I think, over the whole weekend that we were there, long weekend, it wasn't about either of you actually doing it for us. It was about accessing and going on that journey and opening the door. And it was
Yeah.
almost like just a little nudge here and there, because when you're in it, you can't see it,
No.
right? And
No.
so all of those parts of you, you just can't see them, can you? So you need somebody else that's not in it to see it. And
Yeah.
that's when you can go to that place. And that's why I cried.
Yeah. 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 And you
Yeah.
had that, you were in that space. This is why retreats are amazing, because
Yeah.
you're in that container, you're in that bubble.
Yeah.
You haven't
I'm
got
not on the
someone going,
phone.
yeah,
I'm not
I need you in five
emailing.
minutes, or
Yeah.
you've got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
You're just there. So,
Yeah.
like you say, you explained that beautifully. We give you the opportunity to open
Yeah.
that door by
Yeah.
asking questions and just exploring with you. And then it's all over to you, really, which is why the tears, which is why it comes, because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, right, okay. What about
I,
this and what about that?
I,
It's
I
lovely.
think profound stuff as well. Like we did lots of emotional freedom, which was amazing.
Yeah.
I think for me, that was amazing. And also the breath work.
Oh,
So I know we're fast tracking a little bit, but in fact, all of actually the mountain walk was as well. I'll talk about that in a minute. But the
yeah.
breath work for me, because I work with
Yeah.
obviously my guides and so on. And so my connection to my guides I've had for a long time. The higher self piece that came out, I just say, like, we're in this breath work, and breath work is, what I understand, is accessing a part of you that you don't normally access, right? Which is the higher self. And that's just my feeling about it, because that's what I experienced. And I just literally went into this complete, Lisa knows because she was there, like seeing me, but I went into this kind of complete, that's exactly what it is. And for me, it was connecting in with my higher self, and it was the I love you bit. So you said, like, you started your journey of not liking yourself.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was a part of me that was kind of not even acknowledging the love for myself. And this isn't really even giving it justice,
No.
because I came out, you saw me, I came out and I was like, so we were lying outside in this stunning environment in Spain in beautiful weather, and we're lying outside on these yoga mats, and we're all doing this very strange breath, but really powerful breath, like breathing in and then out and so on, called conscious connected breathing. That's what they call, Lisa called it. And then I'm in this place where there's no way I can even stop crying. And I'm literally crying, like so much grief coming out from probably soul grief, right? That I hadn't actually experienced and let go of. And I definitely feel like after that, there was like a huge opening of softness with me. And you said that. You said that there
Yeah.
was like a difference. And so did
You
Kellie.
looked different,
Yeah.
Susan. You looked different physically.
Yeah.
But also the other guests on the retreat noticed a difference as well.
I
It's
know.
like, wow.
I
And
know.
it's
Yeah.
like, wow, okay, so something really has shifted.
And something shifted with my daughter, and I'll just say this because if you're,
Oh,
we'll talk
wow.
about the retreats and stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
and the dates and when they are and the work that you
Yeah.
do and stuff. But just to say that she was different with me, my daughter. So she's 17 this week, and we have a really close relationship. But she was not her normal, pernickety kind of, oh, mum, nah, nah, nah. She wasn't her normal that. And I've noticed that significantly since I've come back.
Right.
So it's not only you that changes, it's also the reflection of everybody in your life that
Mhm.
actually feels that energy shift within you. So I just
Definitely.
wanted to say that
The
for
change in
people.
you will allow her to, she'll be different. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that. That's
yeah, it's
brilliant.
so great. Yeah, it's so great. But you don't always notice that immediately. Like when we think about a testimonial or whatever, you can't always kind of see what shifted until you actually look at things and have a conversation about it or think about it and say, wow, actually that's opened up and that's opened up. And quite often you might have an experience like this retreat, and then you'll be guided to go and do breath work, for example, or you'll be guided to train in EFT, or you'll be guided to talk to someone about something, and it's not necessarily that you'll know what's going to open up, but it transforms something deep inside you. And then the mountain walk,
Wasn't that amazing?
just, I mean, a stunning place anyway.
Yeah.
So, what can I say about that? I'd say that there's a preconceived thought that you're not going to be able to climb that mountain, right? So I even though I'm fairly fit, I have a personal trainer and stuff. I'm not that kind of like, I thought mountain, yeah, right. I'm not going to climb that
Mm.
mountain. And it was ease and grace. And
Mm.
I think it was easy, not only because we'd also like we built this relationship together, all of us together. And so we were like these girls going up the mountain. You probably see the pictures on social media. But it was also the fact that the intention of it was pure. And so when we got to the top of the mountain and we all sat and we did some more beautiful healing
Oh,
and EFT,
that was
and we
unbelievable.
left, that was unbelievable. And we left, essentially dumped anything
Mhm.
that we didn't need anymore in the mountain,
Yeah.
didn't we?
Yeah.
And then walked down for the second, the down the mountain. And this for me was, pretty profound because it was silence. And I had, Melchizedek, one of the guides, come in and give me this kind of, activation and Metatron. Those of you that follow my channel, I talk about those guys, that team quite a lot. But I had this massive activation for my mission as I was walking down this mountain. And other people had different things and different epiphanies, didn't they? I think the silence was
Did.
important.
It was.
Mm.
It was. And I think the whole leading up to that the first few days, it was all a
Mm.
process that had been carefully planned, but
Yeah, it was.
it was flexible as well. So you had your time
Mm.
to go off and do what you wanted. But actually,
Swim
walking
in the
around,
heated pool.
yeah, yeah, you had that time to,
Yeah, yeah,
just to relax.
yeah.
But the tapping opened up the thinking, it released things without even being aware. There was things being released and let go of without even thinking with the tapping. And then, we're doing more kind of mindset work and then we're relaxing, doing the breath work and then up the mountain after that the next day. Just felt so much easier than it did on the first day because you're not weighed down so heavy with emotions. And also you have that connection of women. I mean, what an amazing group you were. You were all like, you just all like just clicked and you were all so different. And just getting up that mountain and whatever was left that had come up from the last few days, you were able just to leave it up there. And I'm
Mm.
literally covered in goosebumps thinking about it
As you're
because
saying it,
we were
yeah.
shouting it out. We were shouting all our own words out,
Mm.
tapping up the mountain. And
Yeah.
then it did feel like, I think it was one of the guests said, this is like walking down in silence. You were able to kind of like, you know, gain a bit of clarity, I think, on the
Mm.
way forward in your life and things. That's how I felt. And it was like the pathway to freedom. It was like,
Oh,
okay, I've
that's
had
right. We
that.
called it
What
that, didn't
now?
we?
Yeah, it was Corinne,
Yeah,
wasn't it? The
yeah,
pathway
yeah,
to freedom.
yeah,
And that's what
yeah.
it felt like. And we was all like, yeah, we got down the bottom and we'd done it.
Mm.
But it felt so much easier than it was going to feel on the first
Yeah.
day, you know?
Yeah, and it was hot weather, and well, it was hot weather for
Yeah,
me anyway, and for us,
it was hot.
those who live in Spain, it wasn't hot weather, but for us it was, and it was beautiful to be in that energy of that weather as well as being in that healing energy. So I think that's really important as well. And the ones you've planned
Yeah,
are for obviously next year in
yeah,
2025, and they are September, October, aren't
yeah.
they? Which is we call it, you call it the, well, I've written it down here, your life, your purpose. And I
Yes.
think that kind of says it, doesn't it? It's
Yeah,
like it is your life and it is your purpose, and it's about aligning to that, I think.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
I've had it personally, there's been a time in my life, or several times in my life, and I'm sure other people will relate, that I haven't felt like I've had a purpose.
Yeah.
What is the
People
point?
really questioning now.
Yeah.
So let me just check that there's no one on the live. Let me just see if anyone wants to say hi on the live. um, yeah, and this is it. I think more and more people are actually I can't find it on here now. Realizing that the job that they're in is
Mm.
is not lifting their heart and their soul. The
No.
relationship they're in is not lifting their heart and soul. I'm seeing that a lot. They're looking at their life and going, there must be something else. And it's
Yeah.
true, because we are going through this big transformation of
Yeah.
ascension. And so this would be a great time for people. And I think 2025 is a really pivotal time, I think, for humanity, massively. We've just gone Pluto
Yeah.
in Aquarius, which is all about humanity, and it's all about aligning fully to why you're here. So yeah, so the dates what are the dates in September?
So it's the 11th to the 15th of September,
Mm-hmm.
and then the 16th to the 20th of October. So it's 4 nights in total. Yeah, and you're right. Your life, your purpose. It was the amalgamation of myself and Kellie.
Yeah.
A lot of my stuff is all purpose. She talks a lot about it's just your life. It's your life. You've got
Yeah.
to do something with it.
You're a great duo together. It's a shame she couldn't come on
I'm glad,
today.
yeah, because
Yeah.
she's my right arm in all of
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
And you work so well. We always said that, Corin and I said that together. We said you work really well together, like bounce off each other. You're
Yeah,
very different,
very
but
different, but
you
yeah,
bounce off each other really, really well. And it was, I have to say, if you're considering this and you're listening to this, and all the links will be in the notes at the bottom, all the links for all and I think you've got offer on, haven't you? Do
yeah. Got
early
an early
bird?
bird till the end of February. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got an early bird, which is really good. But I have to say that, the way that this retreat was held was so professional, and it was orchestrated, to the moment of what you were doing. You always knew that you were held in a safe space, and also Lisa and Kellie, if you needed extra help, they were there. So it wasn't like they were only there for like that hour to that hour. They were there the whole retreat, the whole time. And if you needed someone in the evening, they're there. If they needed
Yeah.
someone in the morning, you're there, wherever. So it's almost like a private experience, but with a few people. So
Oh, that's lovely. Thanks. Yeah.
what's the maximum people that you take on this, just so that people get an
Maximum is
idea?
10.
Yeah,
Um,
maximum is 10.
Maximum is 10, but we have between 8 and 10.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
comfortable for us to manage. And that's one of the reasons why we have a small group. There might be
Mm.
two of us hosting, and we do have a couple of helpers. We've got a brilliant
Mm.
team around
Yeah,
us.
you have. Yeah.
We've got a really good team. You're never left
Mm.
without anything you need. You always have what you need.
Yeah.
Um, but because people process differently. So you may have
Yeah.
done some tapping on the morning and you felt great. And then later on, it's opened up, like you said, it's
Mm.
opening up that door. You do it yourself. I don't do it. Kellie
Mm.
doesn't do it. We just,
Yeah.
you're allowing that to happen. You might need to talk about that or
Yeah.
question it. And,
Mm.
we're not tucked up in our rooms. We are with you. And I think that's really important that you feel safe, because
Yeah.
for me, I was doing all the work that you were doing, and stuff for me was coming up that was
Yeah.
really massive. And I
Yeah.
needed to talk that through. So if I was, then
Yeah.
I know you were. So that's why it's a
Yeah.
smaller group. It's more intimate because you've got us kind of on hand to
Yeah.
walk you through whatever needs walking through the next step.
Yeah. And there's a great chef on board. She was amazing. And, I'm vegetarian. There was a lady there who was vegan, I think, and there was someone who was gluten
Gluten
free.
free, yeah.
And so, everything was catered for. And I have to tell you, I ate more food on that retreat than I've eaten in a very long time.
Yeah,
And it was perfectly fine
yeah,
to
yeah.
do
It was
that.
delicious.
It was the best thing to do, which was to eat that beautiful food, because it was all life-giving food.
Yeah,
It
nourishing.
was just so beautiful. And we also had, and I don't know if you're having this on the next retreats, but you also had Corin, who was doing the massage, and then there was a lady, and sorry, I've forgotten her name, who was doing the facials.
Lisa, yeah.
It was Lisa.
Another
I thought
Lisa.
there's so many
There was
Lisas.
three
Yeah.
Lisas.
Yeah, I thought it was Lisa, but I wasn't sure. And I had a beautiful facial with her, and it was the gold facial or something. I ended up looking amazing afterwards
Yeah,
and
yeah,
feeling
glowing.
amazing. But she's not just someone who does facials. She's someone who brings a huge amount of healing energy to what she's doing. And I don't think she realizes the power she has, but she might do now, actually.
Maybe I hope
um,
so.
yeah, I hope so. Yeah, because we all told her. And Corinne, you know, if she does go out there again, then she did the amazing
Oh,
treatments and massage. She's just incredible. She's in my soul family, so I know her very well, and she's also a very good friend of mine. So, yeah, I highly recommend her. You know, especially if you're going out there. What else, Lisa? What else? I mean, you offer private sessions as well, don't you?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I do. Yeah,
you
I
do them
do all
online.
sorts of things. I do online, I do in person. I offer one-to-one. I do
Hmm.
small groups. I do a small group of three online and in person.
Amazing.
And again, it's not all fixed. I'm quite fluid. So if I have three
Yeah,
people locally that want to all do it in person,
yeah,
brilliant. They come along and they do it.
yeah.
Again, I could have people from all over the world, three come in together, and we
Yeah,
choose to do it online because that works.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I do that. The retreats are kind of
You've
becoming
got
more of a
another
thing for
one,
me.
actually.
I've got another one.
You've got another, I just want to go back to the October. Is the
Yeah.
October one the one where there's just going to be four people? It's going to be a smaller,
No, so
but you're
October,
doing two the
September and
same.
October is back in
Okay.
Spain with Kelly, myself and Kelly hosting Your Life, Your
Yeah,
Purpose again, which is
yeah,
what you came on.
yeah.
And then in January, in 25, on the 3rd and 4th of January, I'm hosting one myself. Um,
Yes.
and that's a very small, intimate one. So I have six
Oh,
people
six
for that one.
people.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's still places for the January one. There's one place left. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. So we'll have the link for
Yeah,
that,
and
won't
I'll send you the
we?
link. Yeah,
And
yeah.
what's the location? Just the energy of the area.
So it is in the UK. It's a
Yeah,
little place near me, Worcestershire. It's Evesham, a
Worcestershire.
little town called Evesham, and
Yeah.
I've rented a beautiful, luxurious house there
And
to
is
spend
it a
2 nights.
weekend
Two
or
nights,
two
Friday and
nights?
Saturday. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. That
I've
sounds
got a big
lovely.
year next year. I'm 50 next year, so 2025 is a big year for me. And
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to start the year off in the best way I can. And I
Mm,
thought, right, okay, let's hold
mm.
something.
Really
Again, not
beautiful and
for me
healing.
as well, for me to go off
Mm.
and just
Yeah.
connect with people that mean a lot to me.
And what will you
Um,
do on that? Would just give us just an outline. I know it's going to be tailored, probably, and it's
yeah.
still being tailored, but what sort of things will you offer?
So we have a pool,
Yeah.
which is outdoor. It is heated, but I'm
Well, I
using
would
it.
hope so in
Yeah, I'm
January in
using
the
it
UK.
for a cold water dip. So we're going to be doing vision
Oh,
boards on the Friday night. But again, it's not just, oh, I fancy making a bit of money, I
yeah.
fancy going on holiday. Not that.
No.
We're actually going to be doing some tapping
Yeah.
around what you truly, truly want for 2025 and beyond.
Amazing.
Or maybe not the whole of 2025, maybe just for the first few months of,
Yeah.
of the
Whatever
year.
you choose.
So we're really going to tune into that and do some vision boards around that.
Yeah.
And then we've got some gorgeous food. And then on the Saturday, I'm going to do, I've got some very small one-to-one sessions going on as
Yeah.
well as cold water dip. Once we've released some negativity that have come up from the tap in from doing the vision boards, we're releasing that. And
We'll all be
yeah,
screaming because we actually ran into the sea, didn't we? And
yeah,
well, a few of us did, not everyone,
yeah,
but we ran into the sea, didn't we, in
yeah,
Malaga? And that was really cold, but
yeah.
it is good for you to get into
Cleansing.
cold water. So yeah,
Yeah,
so you've brought that in
yeah.
to this retreat, which is amazing. Yeah.
I've done it
What
on a
else?
previous retreat, and once you get
Mm,
that emotion up there and you're ready to kind of let go a little bit further, once you've done
mm,
that and it feels safe,
yeah.
to immerse yourself in cold water as much as you
Wow.
can is like brilliant. Now what?
First of all, you can't breathe when you first get in there, and then it's
Yeah,
like
we'll be
whoosh.
breathing. Yeah, we'll be doing some breathing before. So
Yeah.
yeah, but again, it's that relaxation mixed with transformation that I think for me is really important. And to make room, it's all about making room for the good stuff. If your head is full of all the negative and the bad stuff that that you're
Mm,
carrying around, you've got no room for any amazing stuff to come into your life. And feeling
yeah.
purposeful is so
Well, it's
important.
living your purpose is
It's living your
exactly,
purpose is
it's
just
like,
everything to me. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm being guided, you know what I'm like with my guides. So what I'm being guided to ask you is, would it be okay? So if people were interested in talking to you about your UK retreat or even your Spanish retreats, would it be okay if they could have a chat with
Yeah.
you? So you'll leave all your
Yeah.
details, and especially for the January one here in the UK, there's only one place. Actually probably have a chat with Lisa personally, and and if there isn't a space after that, say, it's gone already, then I'm sure she'll run another one and you
Yeah,
can be on the wait list for that next one,
yeah.
so
We've got waiting lists.
um
So
oh,
yeah, we could
waiting
put you on
list,
there. But
yeah.
it's so important. I mean, we had a chat before you came on the retreat because it
Mm.
has to be right
Oh
for
yeah,
you. And
yeah.
it's got to feel right for us. So it's
Mm.
really important to have that chat and know exactly what you're
What
going
you're
to be doing.
stepping into,
Yeah,
yeah, well, to a
yeah.
point, because obviously you never really know,
No, you
but
never know what's going to
yeah.
happen.
But also I feel like and I'm hearing this from the guides, so I'm going to say it, is what's really important is I think this new era is take responsibility for your life. And we all have to take responsibility. Like, you're not going to go on this retreat and say, Lisa, fix me,
Oh,
or Kelly, fix me, because that gives your power away.
yeah.
And Lisa and Kelly are not going to take your power away. In fact, it'll be completely opposite. So if you expect someone to fix you, that's not it. But if you expect to open your heart, walk on the journey, be surprised, and watch miracles happen in your life, then that that's what you're going for. Yeah. And it's taking
Yeah.
responsibility for that journey, I feel.
I think you're right. I think you're right. And
Mm,
also connecting with people that, because you're not, you are
like-minded.
just thrown in. People just, you are just thrown in. But actually, there is a
Mm,
reason why you've all these people have come together because you're all
I
getting
agree.
something from each other.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
agree with that.
it's
I
so important.
100%. I think I put a post up a couple of days ago and it was, have you found your tribe?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think it's really important now more than ever that, because you can't always talk to we've got great families, but we can't always talk to our family about the emotions or spiritual stuff, or, because families don't always understand, and friendships don't always understand, that you might have had for a long time. So when you go into one of these situations and you found like a soul, I call it a soul family, you found a soul family, you're like, actually, everything goes. So you don't have to think about, I can't say that, or I can't be who I need to be. And I think that's quite an important thing to
Yeah,
say, is that there's never a judgment. No one judges anyone, and least of all, you judge yourself. You
yeah.
definitely don't judge yourself. You go to that place where you're like, you can be whoever you want to be. And so, is there anything else, Lisa, that you want to say about the retreats that I haven't kind of led you down the path of?
No, I think, it's all we've spoke about what we did, how we
Mm,
felt. I suppose the big thing for me was it is a process. So it's
mm,
although it feels flexible and fluid, we are leading you to
mm,
feel different at the end, to feel that you,
mm,
like you said, your heart is open. You know, you can come feeling a certain way. I want you to come
mm.
leave feeling that things are possible.
Yeah,
Um, and that is kind of is that's the process that we're taking you through. But it is really relaxed. It isn't it's not stuffy, there's a lot of tears, there's a lot of laughing.
yeah, there's a lot of laughing. Yeah,
But it is a
mm,
process and it's beautiful. It's absolutely
yeah,
beautiful. And myself and Kelly coming together, I couldn't ask for a better person to work with. I've worked with quite a few people in the past, and
mm.
there isn't a moment where I thought, oh, I don't want to spend time with her.
Yeah, I know
It's
you
brilliant
bounce off
spending
each other
time with
so
her.
well. Yeah.
Um,
And
and
your
it comes from the
January
heart.
one is going to be you. And if you've got somebody to support you as well, yeah. So
Yeah.
you've got somebody local to support you.
Yeah, yeah. I've got
Good.
someone who comes and sort of supports me.
Yeah.
If someone needs me, like a one-to-one, then they take
Yeah.
over.
That's
But
brilliant.
also just to kind of like, put kettle on when it's needed and have
Exactly.
a chat when you don't think you might need one, but you do. You need someone to put your arm around you and, when we're
Yeah.
doing other stuff and you've got that person there. So yeah, I've always got that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's important, isn't it? Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm just going to check the live because I just want to see if anyone has. I'm just trying to get on my YouTube basically on my phone so that I
Yeah.
don't interfere there. I just want to see if anyone's got any questions. But if you have got any questions and you're watching this later on the catch up, um, then I can't seem to see the live on here. I don't know why. Because we are definitely live because I can see it, but for some reason it's just not coming up. So maybe we're meant to look at the questions afterwards. That's
Yeah.
okay. So, any questions that you might have, absolutely you can leave them on the feed of the YouTube. That's great. Let us know what you thought of the conversation as well. Let us know the things that excite you about it. And obviously, if you want to get hold of Lisa, we'll have all the notes for you, and you'll have all the details where you can, have a chat with her. If you just want to like book a little chat with her, have a chat with her, and talk to her about maybe private sessions, or if you want to come on any of the retreats, whether you want to, fly off and go to Spain and actually forget anything for the weekend, which is really good, or be in the UK if you're coming from the UK and just want to be in a space that's beautiful, that's held, that you can maybe get away just for a little while, and leave your family and leave your kids maybe, and just turn your phone off for a weekend, which is always good.
Magical.
um, a magical weekend, yeah. Whatever feels right to you. But I definitely feel as we step into 2025, it's time for everyone to shine. It's time for everyone to kind of remember who they are, and remember that they are divine beings of light here for a really important reason. Okay. So, Lisa, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for sharing the space on my YouTube. I'm really excited about that, and it'll be interesting to see, what people say and when they contact you. And if you do contact Lisa, make sure that you say that you watched her on my YouTube channel, and then she'll know where the information came from.
Yeah. Thanks, Susan. Thanks for chatting. It's been lovely.
Yeah, no, well, thank you for coming on, and it's been a great conversation. Thank you, my love. Okay.